Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the second Batrep of Valor and Fortitude for the battle of today. We are in the Peninsula and this is the table, and the small forces just deployed. Is a battle for two forts across this impassable river. Both are defendable terrain and hills here and there. The mission is simple. The French of the 2nd Division under General Merle are going to press the British during their retreat across the peninsula to the sea, and they are here to force their way across the ford. One single line battalion, the 1st Scots, was left to guard this fort here, and the rest of the force forming the rear guard of the Brits are in reserve, and they will hurry to the battle when the bullets start to fly. And here we have the avant-garde of the French. One brigade led by General de Brigade Bosalton and their former leader Merle are here to attack the first fort. Another brigade of infantry and a light cavalry brigade are in reserve and ready to attack from across the border of the French side, and the Brit will enter from that corner, 24 inches from that corner. At first enter the partner units of the Scots, and then as a reserve from the 3rd turn the other British brigade. And that's it. A quick look at the reserving force, and then we'll start for the first turn. Here's a quick view of the reserve, the infantry brigade for the French, with its officer, one piece of field artillery, a detachment of voltigeur, and a unit of understrength voltigeur upgraded with elite shooting and tenacity, so a very strong unit that are the veteran of the Peninsular War at the moment. And I paid this unit here with the bearskin are veteran, so elites in melee and tenacity. No grenadier at this time. For the Brits, an entire brigade, the Black Watch, the 40, the 32 and the 51st Light, with a detachment of 95th Rifle. They are elite melee and shooting. Their officer, brigade commander, and one piece of field artillery. Major Brown, the overall British commander, another field artillery, brigade commander, a detachment of riflemen, and then the 91st, the 40 and the 69th line. The 91st is light, and the 40 as the upgrade of elite shooting. And the two small cavalry brigade, the first one, 9th line Lancers and 5th Hussars, with an artillery piece of horse artillery, Heavy Dragoon commander and light dragoon. The Heavy Dragoon not yet have received their bicorn, because I have no time at the moment to change their heads. They will receive later on. So these are the reserves. Now we're moving to the first turn. I've rolled to see if I go with the French or the Brits, and I roll that the French will play it by me and the Brits by the AA, because it's a solo game. And now we see who will have the first turn. The French will have the first turn. So, back in a sec. The first turn is going pretty quick and uneventful. All the French brigade advance at the double towards the ford, and no shooting at all, no deployment for the artillery. The Brits enter automatically at the first turn with the 1st brigade, and the 1st Scots move slightly forward, while the other battalion in line or in open order take position. The artillery move at the double. They move just to 6 because of field artillery, and that's it essentially for the first turn. Now, at the beginning of the second turn, one unit of French, one brigade of French will arrive, and from the second turn, Brits no reserve. Then on the third turn, both the brigade of the English and then the French last reserve will arrive. And so that's it for the first turn. At the start of the second turn. Second turn for the French. Again, pretty uneventful. The French take their attack formation. The light leger in front, detachment in front, deploy the artillery and take the assault formation with the veteran in line and both battalion attack column on both sides, and on the far forward the two units, the squadron of cavalry and the artillery are fast moving forward with the double. And that's it essentially for the second turn for the French. Now first turn of the Brit, where they can start to shoot at the enemy, try to overcome their attack and repel from the forward. The first Scots open fire in their line and cause a casualty to the leger in front, and the 91st shoot with their skirmisher before moving and cause a casualty to the detachment. And now they've taken their defensive position to support the fire. The the detachment of riflemen occupy the woods and can then put some fire into the incoming enemy, and the rest of the British remain where they are according to their strategy card. Just the artillery are being deployed. Now move into the French second turn and push on the attack. The fight has begun, but the leger completely miss their enemy in front, probably due to the smoke from the muskets. Anyway, no hit at all in the first volley of fire. Then the artillery in canister take one casualty from the 91st. That is essentially what is happened here on this ford. On the other side, the cavalry, both unit of light cavalry, pass the ford and hold it for the incoming infantry, which entered at their best movement possible, so take the double movement. Leading the movement are the voltigeur and the detachment. And that's it for the French. Now the British turn, and their reserve will start to arrive, so the battle will start to get hot in very few time. Back in a sec for the turn of the Brits. The card at the moment: 4, a 9 and 7 for the French, a 6 and a queen and a jack for the Brits. In this turn the French drew at 2, so they need to reshuffle all their decks. No good card at the moment. Defensive good card for the Brits at the moment, but no use it for now. The French are turning to the battlefield. The French brigade on the left move forward. Some of the unit can take at the double remain over 18 inches. General Merle order the artillery for that brigade will be detached in support of the attack on the other ford, while the horse artillery of the cavalry here support this attack. And this artillery should successfully and take a casualty from the rifleman in the wood. But a very efficient role, the attack for the leger, support by the fire from a column and the detachment, cause 6 casualty on this line infantry, 2 more than what is required. They are withered and now have to take 2 Valor tests. So I rolled the test for you. Need 3. It's a fail, so the brigade is gone, and it's the end, so the leader needed to take a Valor test. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, still 5 on a 2+. It easily passed, so no defeat at the moment, but 1 battalion, the 1st Scot, is gone, is broken by withering fire from the French. And now it's the turn of the Brit to retaliate their enemy. British turn is over. The fire from the 69 and the artillery caused 1 casualty to the Leger. The 91st Light take another casualty from the detachment, and they became withered, while the rifle detachment into the woods caused 1 casualty to the battery of horse artillery, and that's for the shooting. The artillery, the 2nd battery artillery is deployed on the hill, because that side is a little bit congested, overcrowded. The infantry brigade took position with the 51st in open order in front of the 3-line battalion. The 95th start to move around, and the cavalry bolding, advancing. Probably they will take the charge, but the heavy cavalry is in advantage against the hussars, and light dragoon and lancers are equally capable of fight. They are essentially identical, so they will see. But the French have a turn of fire, and they need to push forward the troop as soon as possible across this ford before the Brits start an impregnable defensive position across it. And the same will be here, that it's the time for launching the attack before the artillery start to take their toll to the troop in front. Now back in a moment with the French turn. The French take their chance with some fire from the skirmisher from the Leger, and then they move back, and both the attack column enter into the fight. The second one have no other unit within range, so it can charge in support of this column against the 69 to this melee. And another very bold move from the French here. The Lancers charge straight forward into the light dragoon, which take 1 casualty from the artillery, and using the number 9 of spade, which allow me a movement before taking a charge, the hussars gain the flank of the cavalry and then charge the heavy dragoon into their flank. It's a risky move, but it's probably the only one move that light cavalry can take their chance against an heavy one. And for the rest, the skirmisher move forward, and the artillery managed to rally, because its horse artillery is allowed to take an action, and this rally is casualty, and all the 4 column of attack move forward across the ford, and now proceeding to this interesting melee here and down there. Okay, we start with a light dragoon, which make 4 attack, hitting on a 4+, and the light lancer, which make also 4 attack, but hitting on a 3. So we'll see the outcome of this melee. Oh, the light lancers hit all the time, so 4 hit, and none from the light lancers. So the light lancers take the light dragoon take 4 casualty, and this means that they are withered and 2 casualty over their tenacity. And now to the centerpiece of this melee. So the 5th Hussar have 4 attack. It's flanking, so 5 plus 1 attack. The defender usually have a 6 attack because it's a heavy cavalry, heavy dragoon, but they lost 3 because they are flanked. So 5 against 3. The Hussars hitting on a 3 and the light dragoon hitting on a 4. The Hussars hit 4 times. The dragoon miss all the time. They can reroll using a card. They have a 6 in their hand, but this is not enough to win the combat, so they will take the chance. They take 4 hits, so they are withered, but not needed to take further test. And now proceeding to the fighting between the infantry on the other ford. And well, before moving, I have to take this to test for the braids, 2 Valor test on a 4+. One is failed, so the light dragoon is destroyed. They are routed by the lancers, and this means that at the end of the turn their officer need to take a Fortitude test. And with this unit withered, if it's failed the test, even the heavy dragoon will be routed. So here we have the 2 attacking column of the French, charged into the 69 in line. Both sides play their queens, so attack of a trance for the French, +1 dice if all the attacking are in attack column, and defensive fire for the Brits, +1 if they are defending. So this means that the Brits are at 4 base attack, +1 for the line, +1 for the cards, and probably, yes, +1 for the brigade support, 7 dice. And the same are for the French. 4 attack base for the French in column, +2 because they are a supporting unit in to the fray, +1 for the regimental, and +1 for the cards. So 8 against 7, 3 against 4, but the Brits have already 6, which means they can reroll all their misses. Now the blue hitting on a 3, the red on a 4. Ooh, what a terrible roll for the French. They pay the lucky that have with the cavalry. 6 misses, just 2 hit for the French. The Brits are not better, 2 regular hit, but they can reroll 3, 1 for their ruse, which are 4 hit and are enough to win the melee, and exhausted 1 of the unit. So 4 casualty for 1 of the battalion, and they are withered, and just 2 casualty for the Brits. Now 1 single test for the cavalry brigade down there. Their officer is far than 12 inches from their general. The brigade is below half strained, but let me double check a single thing. Yes, I'm right. The brigade have half of his unit routed, so a -1 is a test on a 5. Ooh, and it's fail, so it's a defeat, which mean that this unit is also broken and is gone, and this mean that the brigade is gone. So this defeat plus another one, which I put in a second, go to the overall commander. And this is a bad situation for the Brits because both the cavalry are pretty okay. I forgot to put the casualty on the Lancers, but the situation here is grim for the Brits on this side and not so bad here. But let me say that the main attack is not intended here but down there, so even if the dice decided, it looks like if the plan is going according to the main direction, this diversionary attack on this side will force the Brit attention, and the main attack on that side look going well, but as I said, it's a dice, it's not a reality. Okay, this is the end of the French turn. Now it's time for the Brit retaliation. One last things of the turn, after the melee phase is over, I play the card number 4, which allow one brigade to take a movement, and I redeploy the cavalry far away from the incoming fire of the Brits. And so now we'll see what the IA will dictate in this situation for the defender. Firing phase is pretty uneventful for the Brit this time. The combined fire from both the light and the detachment just put one single casualty on the voltigeur detachment. Then for the activation, this brigade is forced to take defensive position. The 51st go in square because it's within a charge range of the cavalry, and the 95th take cover behind a hill outside the sight of the 5th SAR and start to slowly move in. The rest of the battalion remain in line according to the terrain. They are safely outside 18 inches, but at the moment they cannot move forward, and this is a problem. Artillery must be redeployed to help against the cavalry, and the detachment inside the wood should do the same, but this brigade failed to activate, and the Brits have no cards to play. The AA suggests to retain defensive position, but as I just tested many times, what the AA take as decision usually is the wisest one. Even if I play Brit, I will go defensive at the moment because cavalry is pretty good, in good shape, and is a real threat on this flank. Here they failed to activate, but they still fight on. The 69 have a 6 attack, just 5 for the line plus the regiment, no cars at the moment, and the line, both the column of attack have a 6 attack in total, 7 attack in total, but they hit on a 5 plus because they are withered, while the Brits hit on a 4 and both reroll 1, which probably I forgot in the last turn, which I made so many ones. My fault. Okay, the French are not happy of this. So on a 5 the blue, on a 4 the red, and both side reroll 1s. Okay, just one for the blue. Oh yeah, it's a lot of 8 for the Brits. All the 6 are in, just take 1-2 casualty in response. So they are gone withered, but the French brigade needed to take 6 Valor tests, and probably this means that they are going to go. And they are going. Just for 2, it's not bad, they're pretty valorous, but they are gone. So they are gone, and General Bozaton need to take a Fortitude test. No more than 5 units in the brigade, but still within 12 inches for the overall general Merle, so +1 on a 3 plus, okay, no defeat for the French at the moment, but one of their battalion is gone. At the moment, the situation for the Brits are in predicate, because here on this side the veteran line, infantry in line, charged in. No other unit may be charged, so they help the column of attack to push through the 69, which at the moment are wavered, and even if they cannot reroll, because this is line and this is in column, so no, the Alan rule, there's plenty of dice. On that side, the Brits are still in defensive position, but the French move slightly forward, the cavalry, both squadron. This one is behind the hill, taking cover from the fire. The Lancers take a position which force to stay in a square, and the rest of the infantry is taking position over the ford, and the mission for the French is stay with many units as possible over the ford and sum the defeat. At the moment there is no defeat for the French and not just 2 defeat for the Brits, and the situation is in a stalemate, because the French have no any interest in moving forward, and the Brits are the troops that are calling to clear this ford from the enemy, or at least inflict as many casualties as possible, and it look hard to make this. They are forced in a corner, and probably without any bold action against cavalry, taking a heavy risk, they cannot retake the position. On that side, now is going to resolve this melee, and we will see, but the brigade is reduced to 2 effective battalion, 1 wavered, which now is forced to fight at the French condition, while the French brigade is still in good shape. Some casualty, but nothing that put the brigade on the verge of collapse. Now, the 69 is 6 dice, and now it has this dice which hit on a 5 plus. The French will hit on a 4 plus because they are casualties, so they use their veteran. So 5 dice, 6 because they are in line, plus 2 because of the column of attack, plus the regimental 1. So are 9 dice against 6. No cards useful to play. Brits can reroll all the hits, but after the result. So on a 4 plus the blue, on without reroll, on a 5 plus with rerolling 1 for the Brits. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits for the French, just 1 for the Brits, but all the other dice are 1, so can be rerolled another 1. So 5 to 2. 2 casualty is taken by the veteran veteran battalion. He is the 1st battalion of the 4th regiment, and the Brits need to take 5 Valor test, and on a 4 plus is gone. The battalion is gone. Another Fortitude test for their commander. Now it's at 4 plus, and with the 2 is another failure. Probably it was a 3, because probably it is within 12 inches. Yes, it is. It was on a 3, but it's already failed. So another defeat for the Brits, and another battalion is gone. And now at the start of the British turn, this ford here and its defense in the hand of the Scots, and when the things go wrong, the Scots came in and tried to save the situation on that side. On this side, the AA will decide, but they are severely in disadvantage. We're back in a moment for the Brits' turn. Decision to stay and react to the enemy, so essentially shooting, paid off, because the combined fire from the Gordon Highlanders and the artillery withered the column of attack. The 91st reformed back to the hills, ready to push in support and reorganize, closing their rank. The artillery is moved to support this side. The Cornwall regiment is forced to end in square because they are within range of the Hussars and in sight of the Hussars, and essentially 95th Rifle take the place of the detachment into the woods. Their fire will be more effective than a single detachment. The combined fire from the 40 and the square of the 51st forces the Lancers to take 2 Valor tests, because they take 2 casualty from fire more than their tenacity. So 2 tests on a 3, it's failed, so the Lancers gone, and the cavalry needed to take at this point 1 Fortitude test. It's more than 12 inches from the commander, and half of the artillery is still there. It's not the case of the British, because they have 3 units, so it's a test on a 4+, which is passed. It will be passed even if they are under the half strength. So the Lancers is gone, the SARS is still effective, still no defeat for the French. And now moving to the French turn, and now some decision must be taken. The French turn is over. Some fire here and there, pretty ineffective. Just 1 casualty to the square and 1 casualty to the 95th. Then a general repositioning to put some pressure again on this British side. And on this side, the French fired with the line, which put 2 more casualty on the Gordon Highlanders. They go into 3 casualty, and now they will try to activate, and I will made for you. Okay, it's activated. This unit here will move back, and the Leger take its place, and this will end the French turn. Now I'm moving this 2 unit. This ended the French turn, and moving again to a British turn. We have another hour to play. We decided to end at 4:30, so 1 hour and a half to play, but the situation for the Brits is pretty compromised, so probably the game will end sooner than the time that I set for the end of the game. Back in a sec. So the French, the AA for the French, for the Brits, sorry, decided for a probing. So this unit cannot charge, but all of them shoot and take some casualty out from these 2 column of attack, 1 and 1, and the 95th withered the detachment of Voltigeur from the other side of the river. And the same here, the Gordon Highlanders charged after shooting from the artillery, which put 2 casualty on the Leger, which means once because he is in open order. The AA suggested to attack where is pretty sure a victory, and he hears pretty sure a victory. I'm not totally convinced, but I decided to strict with the AA. And the 95th take the position of the Gordon Highlanders in close order to protect the hill and see what is going to happen on this melee, which I'm going to resolve. The Highlanders have 5 attack because they are veteran. They are in line. They are within 3 inches from the artillery, so brigade support. The Leger usually have 3 attacks. It is in open order, just 2 single dice, which one is back from the brigade support. Both hit on a 4, but the odds are with the Brits, which can also reroll the 1. So we'll see if the Highlanders repel the French from this fort. Oh yes, they probably succeeding in repel. These 2 are scarred, and this is a reroll for hits against 1. So at the moment the Leger is on 3 casualty plus 4 means 3 test for the Leger. 3 test for the Leger without bonus, so on a 4 plus, and the Leger is thoroughly gone. And now I have to test on a 5 plus for the General, because we are under half of the starting number and without being 12 inches from the General Merle, and it is the first defeat for the French, but it also means that 1 casualty going here and 1 casualty going here, and this column of attack is destroyed. So the attack of the Highlander paid off, especially because it take, yes, a casualty, but it's not yet withered. So very good attack on this side, and again the Highlanders prove the very best of the Brits army. Now back, remove the casualty, the token, and back in a moment for the French turn. General Merle ordered an all-out assault, so the French push into the British line after fire from artillery and the supporting Leger, which withered the square. This attack column of veteran charged the exhausted square. This column of attack, with the support of the other column of attack, charged the 95th into the woods, while the 5th Hussar charged into the fort, 40 in line. The 5th Hussar needed to spend a card to activate because they failed. I moved the commander. And on that side, after the shooting of the artillery, which exhausted the Highlander, withered the battalion, the brigade failed to activate, so failed to exploit this advantage, and so we'll see. We're back here in the center of the deployment now. The French play all-out assault, every battalion within 12 inches from the overall general take +1 attack dice. And now moving to the melee. The first one is the column on the top against the 95th. 4 attack, +1 for the card and +1 for the regimental against 95th is understrained unit, so usually it's 3, it became 2, is in the wood, it get 1 back for the melee. Both units have taken casualties, so both units attack on a 4+. The French, both units can reroll the 1. So just 1 hit can be no, and the 95th, as usual, perform exceptionally well, inflicting 3 casualty on the column of attack, and take just one in return. So the column of attack will end withered and were the loser of the melee, but fortunately they have not to test at the moment. The 95th to take just one single casualty. The fight in the center, the veteran column, 5 attack, +1 for the cards, no regimental support. The square is a légère, a light company, so 3 dice. He is in square, 1 more dice. He has the regimental support, no, because the 40 is engaged. So 6th against 4th, the square hit on a 5, the column hit on a 4, rerolling 1. This time the square take 4 casualty and inflict 1 single casualty to the French. So this is a solid victory for the French in the center. Proceeding to put the casualty because I forgot if I do not mate at the moment. And this one will need to take 4 Valor tests at the end of the melee. Here, the 5th Hussar are 4 +1, 5 dice. The 40 is a regular line battalion in line with support from the parents unit. So 5 dice per part, cavalry hitting on a 3, infantry hitting on a 4, rerolling 1s. So cavalry put 3, infantry just put 3. At the moment they are losing the battle, but they have 2 dice to be rolled. And Brits, no, okay, just roll this 2. Yes, another 1. So the Brits inflict 4 casualty to the Hussars, which now need to take a Valor test because they are 1 over their tenacity. So Valor test, 1 for the French on a 4+. Each passed, so the Hussars stay. 4 test for the square on a 4+. It's failed by 1, but it's failed, so the square is gone. And this means that this unit need to take a Fortitude test, which is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so is on a 2+. It's a pass, so no defeat for the Brits, and that's the end of the French turn, moving on a British turn. The turn starts with a fire from the Brit, and the question is arise: are the British slowly retaking their morale and overcome the French? Because the fire from the square supported by the 40 put 2 casualty and forced 2 tests on the Hussars. The 95th alone caused 2 casualty on this column, forcing in 2 more tests, and 1 test is needed from the veteran down there because 2 casualties taken from the 91st, so 3 Valor tests for the French just in the firing phase of the Brits. So this card is gone. 2 tests for the Hussar on a 3, and the Hussar is gone, and this is a bad news. The column down there is also gone, and the veteran stay. Okay, so 2 Fortitude tests at the end of the phase, 1 for the cavalry and 1 for the French infantry brigade down there. And now moving to the activation for the Brits. The free activation is on the hill down up there, and they spent the stubborn card to remove 1 casualty from the Scots, which charge into the veteran which are wavered. And in this way they have all the advantage of the attack. And here I do not really need any activation, but deploy the artillery at least on a 2+. Yes, this one is moving down here to free the space. This detachment move here to free the space, and the artillery will deploy it here. And essentially that's it for this side. I'm removing the casualty, but before I need to take the melee on the other side. I roll the dice here. The Scots are 5 dice, plus they are in line. The veteran are 5 dice, plus they are in line. No one have brigade support. The Brits play the scum of the earth, which mean -1 to the morale test if they win the melee. The Brits hit on a 4, the French hit on a 5, both. No, the French do not reroll any one. So on a 4 and on a 5. The French score 2. The Brits at the moment score 2. They do not need to reroll anything, they are just winning, but they want to force more tests, so they use the 6 to reroll everyone, which means 3 more hits. 5 tests for the veteran battalion, 5 tests on a 4+, which is miserably failed, and this means another Fortitude test. So a Fortitude test for the Busalten Brigade is on a 5+. It's failed, so not only the line infantry gone, but also the detachment, and this means that the brigade is shattered. No more unit on that side. The Brits hold that fort. And here, this column of attack force 1 test to the commander on a 3+. It's pass. The cavalry on a 3, on a 4+1 -1 on a 4+. It's pass. The artillery stay. So just 1 defeat for the Brit, +1 because the brigade is shattered. And this bring 3 defeat per side. At the moment the situation is moved slightly from the French hand into the Brits hand. And now start the French turn, and we'll see what General Merle can obtain. Again the French try to push through the Brits. This column of attack attacked the woods with the 95th Rifle now at a 3 casualty against 0, so they hitting on a 3. With the stubborn veteran remove their casualty and charge straight forward into the 40, and the Leger reforming column and march forward to give its support. And that's now moving to the melee. The fire from the veteran voltigeur put the casualty into the 95th. Both the artillery miss, and essentially that's it. Now moving to the first melee against the 40. It's a veteran column of attack, 5 dice, again 5 dice because they're in line, plus the support. And I decided to use here the brigade support. So 6 against 6, the French hitting on a 3, rerolling 1, the Brits hitting on a 4, rerolling 1. So at the moment the Brit hits 2 times, the French hit 4, 5 times. And this mean that with just 3 casualty on the battalion plus 5, it's going to be a 4 test for the 40 and 2 casualty for the French in the center. And before to roll for the attack, I forgot that this taking a casualty from the artillery, it's not missing it. So 1 test for this detachment is a test on a 3+, which is failed, and this means that this unit is gone, but it is also a test, a Fortitude test for that officer here, because it's part of that brigade. At the end of the turn they will test. Returning to the melee, this column of attack attacking the 95th rifle. 4 attack for the column of attack, 3 for the 95th. The French hitting on a 3, the 95th hitting on a 4, both rerolling 1. So the French hit 3 times, the 1 less die, and the Brits hit just 1 time with no reroll. So 3 is enough to force the 95th to taking a test, because they take 3 casualty, which mean that going to 4 and 2 test over its usual, not 1, because they are elite both in shooting and in oh my god, they are elite shooting and elite tenacity, so 5, 8 tenacity and 1 single test for them. Okay, that's it, the melee is over. So 2 more tests for the Brits, the 95th stay, and the 4 test for the 40, which barely failed, so the 40 is gone, and this force both the brigade commander to take a test, this one and that one. The one on the hill on a 4+, because the brigade is below half strength, so -1 +1, because within 12 inches for the commander. 4+. It's fail, and now I proceed in a moment on a what one. So this is gone 1, 2, 3, 4. Again on a 4+, on a 3+. This is passed, the other one is fail. This passed, so this unit is gone. This is okay, but because this unit is weavered the Scots route and go home to take safety. So 1 more defeat here, no defeat on this side. It's a bit complicated and start to be a little bit tired. I remove the casualty and move in what is the British, one of the last British turn. The Brits stay put and put their fire into the column and weaver the veteran in the center, but decide the Leger, sorry, it's a Brit one, so the light battalion on the 91st, the move into march column and pushing this way to offer its assistance to the other British brigade. The commander follow him. That side is completely safe. No more French on this side at the moment. And now proceeding the last fight between the column of attack and the 95th. 5 attack against 3. The Brits hitting on a 5, the French hitting on a 4. Both they roll their 1, and there is no cards, no bonus played. So 2 hits, 1 hit for the Brits, and 3 more hits for the French. This means 3 tests for the 95th, which fail and gone. The 95th is gone, and so the British brigade need to take a test at the 4+. +1 for the general and -1 to be under half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's not under 5. So it is a 2 plus. Is 4 plus. 3 plus. It's fail. And this is another ouch for the Brits, because the 95th is gone. And everything within 6 inches from the enemy take 1 casualty. The artillery, the Scots, and the square, plus 1 more defeat to the British side, and 1 casualty to the French that I put in a sack. And now the French turn, and I decided that this will be the last turn of the game, so it is what it is. The French probably scored a victory, and they accomplished the order of the Emperor. General Merle did well in this game, but play the last 2 turns, 1 for the Brit and 1 for the French, which are going to start in a sec. The last French turn is over. The French only consolidate their position. The battalion take the woods now cleared. The rest of the column of attack slowly retreat in a safe position to hold the ford, and both the Légère and the Voltigeur can pass because the French drew the Vive l'Empereur card for the last turn, which an entire brigade gain plus 6 inches to their move. And finally the artillery, which have no target this turn, limbered and cross the ford too. So this is the last French turn. Now the Brits have the last turn, but the situation is poorly. Probably put some fire into that battalion and that artillery, and everything is over for the Brit. Back in a sec. And it's over with the artillery and the Blackwatch with fire into the woods, causing just 1 more casualty to that battalion, and that's put the end of the game. It's a very close one. At the beginning of the 3rd turn, the French looks in very good position, but the stubbornness of the Brits returning some point back, and at the end this is the situation. 7 unit losses lost by the French, 8 unit lost by the Brits, so the casualties are in a draw, but the Brits suffer 5 defeat while the French suffer only 3, so it is 11 against 13 to 11 for the French. Is a minor victory because it's very close, and a situation and a point of view testimony at this 13 to 11, and that's it. This is the situation of the French at the end of the game. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your appreciation of the site. I really thank you for this. If someone of you is new and want to subscribe or press the like button, it's a very pleasure for me. Thank you again, and see you soon with another video as soon as possible. Bye bye.